Welcome back, all of my creative and crafty lovelies to Boho Jewel. My name is Sandra, and if this is your first time visiting, welcome, and please hit subscribe and all the things. We do lots of fun tutorials and artsy things, all things arts and crafts. Today I am switching gears a little bit. I just finished a video about the Dragon Tree Dreambook Planner. This right here, I put mine in my cover now. Ignore that. It's in my cover, and I just did a video explaining why I love it so much. I think it's an amazing planner for anyone. If you are looking to figure out your goals and your dreams in life, it's a wonderful resource just to kind of develop some mindfulness in your life and to get things organized and planned, all those good, wonderful things. But I also mentioned that I have sort of fallen in love with it all over again, having been diagnosed with ADHD, and why I feel like it works for me so well. It might not for everybody with ADHD, and it might be too much for anybody who's like, I just need to write down a few things to keep track of, but I love it for many reasons. I am a single mom who is currently homeschooling a 7th grader. I work, and I also really want to get my business back up and running in 2023. So it's like a lot of things. It's a lot of things. So for all those things, I need a little help. I need a little help in the breakdown of how all of those things are going to successfully come to fruition and without me having a breakdown. So what I would like to do with all of that in mind of where I'm coming from with it, I wanted to take just a few minutes to show you guys how I fill in a week. I'm not going to go through like all of my personal things and all of that stuff, because that would be weird. But I do want to show you like how I write down stuff for the week. What I have finally figured out works for me. I use lots of colors. I use colorful pens. I feel like if you're a creative person in general, I think this is a good method to use. I use the colorful pens, and I use my one black pen, and I'm going to show you how I kind of use them for different stuff that I do throughout the week. I feel like for me, visually, as an artist, as a creative thinker, it just helps me to see things like where they need to go in my day. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it works for me. It helps me to feel less overwhelmed by it, actually. Like when I write everything down just in the one color pen, it looks very overwhelming. So I'm not sure how much of that is the creative brain aspect and how much of that is the ADHD brain aspect. Because when I look at like lists and lists of things in the one color, I'm like, there's no way. And then I can't prioritize. So using the colors kind of helps me to prioritize. And so I'm going to show you guys why this particular system works for me. I'm going to flip you around, kind of show you what I do, and see if it helps somebody else out there. If it does help you, that's the only reason I'm making this video. If it does help you, please let me know in the comments. If you have any tips or suggestions of things that work for your brain that I miss, I'm open. I like to learn new things, especially since this is all kind of a new discovery for me still. And I will be posting a link to the Dragon Tree Apothecary in the description below. I do have an affiliate link, so if you are curious about checking this out, or if you just want to take some of these tips for a planner that you're currently using, obviously, feel free to do that too. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to give you a little tiny glimpse into what a typical week in my life kind of looks like. So one thing I want to point out, I do love that you can write your own times in here. And the reason that is, my schedule during the school year, even though I'm working in the same place, my schedule during the school year changes a little bit from what I work in the summertime. So in the summertime, I have to get up at different times than I do in the school year. So it's kind of nice that from week to week, I can be like, if I have to get up at 5:30 a.m. for this week, I do that, or 7 a.m. that week. So I can adjust that, which I totally appreciate. The other thing I like, and I pointed it out in my other video, is that this is like 2 sections of the day. There's this little separator right here that just kind of, they're little mindful questions that you can ask yourself throughout the day if you want to look at those and read those, just to keep you sort of centered where your focus is. But I love the visual separation. That for me helps so much more than I realized. I mean, I've used other planners with different types of divisions. This for me is amazing because I know this is my morning, this is my afternoon, right? So this right here, my morning times are for homeschooling right now. My afternoons, this AITA, that's art in the afternoon. I teach in the afternoons. And so this is how I'm doing my color coding. This is just how the colors make sense to me. It's funny because I had this whole conversation with my my art kids last week about like when I was in school. It just certain folder colors made more sense to me with certain subjects than others did. So if it was a blue folder, it had to be math. If it was green, it had to be science. I don't know. It's just how my brain works. So I'm not saying use these specific colors, use ones that make sense to you. So what I've done, the first thing, you'll notice the outlines right here. I outline my weekends and holidays in pink. The pink for me, it's like personal things. It's relaxing time. It's self-care time. It is what I write my intentions with. So I have this one right here, January 2nd. We haven't started back to work yet. That's still part of the vacation. And it goes over to this week. That's why I left that open. That's what makes sense to me. So that's what I'm doing. And then right here on the weekend, I'm like, this is Saturday and Sunday. There's no work on those days. So I just outline them. That way I can see like this right here is focused, some sort of focused activity. I have to be somewhere at certain times, working type of situations right off the bat. Weekends are a little more open, right? And so that is my pink. And again, like I'm not writing my intentions right now because this is like 3 weeks from now. So when I get up in the morning, I'm going to take my regular pen and I'm going to write my grateful for, what I'm grateful for that morning, whatever pops into my head. And then in pink, whatever my intention looks like to me. All right, and so then we're moving on to this lovely peachy color. And right here, you'll see I wrote Monday quote -blog. So I've started a new blog and it's been a lot of fun for me. I won't get into all that right now, but I guess I could actually put the link to that in the description as well. But on Mondays, I like to do some sort of an art quote. And so just a reminder, every Monday, at some point on Monday, I want to do a little, you know, a little passage, a little blog about an artist, an art quote, and why it's relevant to me that week. And so this is what I also use for all of my art business things now. It's just started back up again. So if it's to do with Etsy, my Etsy shops, or YouTube, or the blog, whether that looks like taking photos for my Etsy shop, etc., I'm going to write that in this color. And I'm going to put that wherever I have space in my week that I think I can actually get it done. Now, the purple is the homeschooling. Now, let me tell you, I used to write in times right here. Like, oh, I'm going to get up at 6 a.m. and I'm going to go for a walk and I'm going to get my kid up at 7:30 and we're going to plug away. And then by noon, we're going to be at the grocery store, and that never happened. And then I felt like a great big fat failure. And so I decided to stop doing that. Just stop doing that. Here's a secret. You can stop doing that. No one's going to know. As long as the thing gets done, it's okay. You can do whatever you want to do. I promise. It took me a lot to figure that out. So just saying. So now I leave my mornings timeless. It's just easier. If I have a list of perfect things and these are the exact times they need to get done and they don't get done, I'm going to give up and be like, I suck at life. So I just don't do that. I know that this is what she needs to work on this week, that we're doing the math, we're watching certain videos on Crash Course. Highly recommend here on YouTube, Crash Course, go check it out. And this right here, abbreviation for To Kill a Mockingbird, we're going to continue reading that, and worksheets, right? So I know each day right here, I don't have to pull out a different planner from somewhere else that this is what she's doing that day. I had tried that and it seems very organized. I need it here because if I don't have it here and I just have like, oh, homeschool time, and it doesn't happen within that 3 or 4 hours, and I've filled in a whole bunch of other stuff, none of that stuff's getting done. So yeah, the point is we want the things to happen, right? We feel good when the things happen and they get accomplished. So I just write down notes of what she's doing that week. And we have our system. I've got my bin downstairs. We pull the stuff out. She does the things. I do the things with her, put the stuff away, and we're done, right? In the blue corner, we have food related things. So this is another one of those things. I used to have like a whiteboard on my refrigerator where I meal planned everything. It did work well for me. It served me well when my daughter was in school. So it helped me with the packing lunches and things. But here's what I noticed. Like if I have like right here, this is 6 o'clock at night, right? I've had a whole day by the time I get here. If I don't write like if I don't write the food here, dinner becomes sort of a side note. I mean, it's going to happen. It has to happen. We get hungry. But I end up writing other tasks down here to do. And then once I realize that dinner has taken, I don't get home until like 6:30. And so then I'm planning all this food things. And so then by the time I'm done with all that, it's like 9 o'clock, and the 3 other businessy things or errands or whatever, they're not going to happen. So for me, it is much easier for me to see these are things that are happening. I wrote down tacos just because more than likely we'll have tacos. Like we have tacos all the time. So, but that's what I do at the beginning of the week. I'm like, this is what I have in the house, and I'm going to write down the dinners. For breakfast and lunch, we mostly eat the same things all the time. So, you know, it's in the house, we grab it, whatever, right? And so, but this way I can see, okay, realistically, if I have something else after work that day, I'm not going to plan to make, you know, something that takes 2 hours to prepare because we won't eat until 9 o'clock at night. So that is what I do. Color coding works for me. Now, of course, this is not nearly what's going to be happening this week, I'm sure. All of the life incidental things, I think like for next week, let me look in my planner from this year. Yeah, so like next week, I already have, I'll show you guys, like this random thought where I was like, my kid's yearly checkup. Like I woke up this morning thinking, oh my gosh, when do I need to schedule that? So I need to call. I got some weird thing from CarMax and whatever. I have to call about that. So these are random things that happen that in the mornings I'm like, oh yeah, this, and this. And I sort of brain dump my list of things that need to happen that are life things. These are things that happen every week. So I go ahead and write them down and good to go, right? And then I try to leave the weekends open for some kind of fun thing maybe, or something that comes up, or if nothing else, it gets filled in with this pen because the artsy things make me happy. This is also, so this is kind of it's my business pen, but also all the creative things, right? Now, another thing that I will write down a lot of times just to remind myself, and I'll go ahead and do that, is like walk, right? And like keep walking just to be funny. I like to move it, right? I like to move it. Because I have realized that some sort of movement in the mornings definitely helps me with my ADHD. So I get up, I do the planning, I have other things that I do to kind of get me in the zone, and then I get antsy. I have to have like, even if it's just like a 10-minute walk or 15 minutes of stretching or doing free weights at home, whatever, I have to have that movement. So I try to remind myself by writing that up there. And I do it in pink because again, it's like a self-care thing, and it doesn't take a lot of time, and it definitely helps me with my day before all of the other things happen. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. How could I forget the stickers? Oh my gosh, I'm such a child. The stickers, you guys. So these came with the Dragon Tree planner. You can buy just the planner by itself, or you can buy the whole set. And I'm just going to okay, I'm going to just turn these upside down, close my eyes, and I'm going to pick one random sticker. Is that a sticker? Well, I have to look. Oh, grateful. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put this up here. And I did this with my planner last year and just randomly put some of these little, you know, you're doing great, you're wonderful, be compassionate. And so then when I open up to the week, I see something lovely and inspiring. And then there are also these that can kind of help you to plan. So I feel like it just makes it fun. So you can add these to your week. I also purchased these from houndsflightdesigns.com. I'll put their link below. I'm not affiliated with this company. It's a small business on Etsy that I found. I actually just ordered some more, but they're little planner stickers and they're so stinking cute and groovy. And so, like, let's see, I'm going to pick one of these just as a reminder. Let's see. Let's do this one. This one's pretty. And I'm just going to use this and put it at the top right here. Oh, okay, so the reason that's wobbly, because of the binding right here, I usually always have like a brain dump journal or a sketchbook or something on hand, and I'll just put it underneath there so that when I'm writing really close to the edge, it lifts it up just enough for me to be able to write neatly. So that's why that's under there. Just a tip. So I'm going to push that up there, and I'm going to write right here, teacher workday, as a reminder. That I will be at work that day, but I'm not sure what time yet. That's why I haven't filled anything in. So I think if you're artsy and if you, I don't know, I think the stickers are fun and lovely. And if you find joy in them, just do them because you find joy in them, for Pete's sake, because we're allowed to do that too. But also for me, again, visually, if it can look like fun and it can look like something that's colorful, I'm more likely to actually look at my planner throughout the day and, again, do the things, get the things done. Because if the things don't get done, I feel like poop. And so that is why I do the things the way I do, because I don't want to feel bad. And so if that helps you guys, let me know again in the comments. Like, whatever works for you, right? Again, I didn't mention it this time, but in the last video, I talked about some of the things on the bottom. You guys may have noticed these. The little shapes and things. These are very helpful. What these are in the planner, every week, you fill out your weekly plan, right? And so this is also very, very, very helpful, but it gives you your top 3 goals. It helps you to break down the work that you do at the beginning of the planner. And right here, you can write down your habit tracking. So if anything like, oh, you want to drink more water, or you're going to flip negative thoughts into positive ones, anything like that. Also, I'm going to mention it again, this brain dump page when you don't have anything else available, or doodle page for in the mornings while you're waking up. I don't know what that's going to look like for me. I haven't done all of the things for the new year yet. I'm going to take some time during the winter break to regroup and see what my plans were at the beginning of last year, because this year's felt longer than a year. When I'm looking back now, I'm like, a lot of things have happened this last year. Good things. So that's nice. But just to kind of look back at what my goals were coming into 2022 and how whatever stayed the same, what might still be goals that I either forgot about or just didn't get to, or what maybe has changed. Because that can happen too, and that's okay. It's okay. So yeah, so I hope you guys found that helpful. Let me know. And again, if you have any tips of your own or some way that you keep track of things, especially if you have ADHD, I am open for suggestions. By all means, anything to make daily life run a little smoother, right? Y'all hear me? All right. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, click all the things. I will be back with tutorials very, very soon. I think I might do some fun kid tutorials, like art project tutorials for the winter break, because everybody's gonna be stuck at home during winter break. All right. Well, maybe not. Some of you guys travel. I don't go anywhere. Maybe soon. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you soon. Have a great night.